back on the ranch. Thank you everyone for chiming in tonight for this version of On the Ranch. We have a really special guest tonight because this is like girls' night on the ranch. You know, Jennifer Alvarado is going to be coming on in a second. And we're going to talk about everything Americana music. Because again, it's a broad topic these days and it means different things to different people around the world. So again, we're going to talk music all night. Let me show you this. Oh, we have comments coming in already. Billy's here. Billy's shouting in, saying hello. So that's awesome. Let me show you my banner here. Yes, if you would like to be on the show, it's randieoneal.com/shows, and there's the application if you want to join. If you're listening, I can see all your comments. So feel free to send in questions, comments, feedback on songs, all that good stuff. All right. So without further ado, one other thing. Next week, I'm going to be on the road on the ranch. That's right. I'm going to be touring around down south. I'm going to be in Jennifer's territory, North Carolina. We might have to do lunch. So we'll be on the road a little bit, but we're going to make it all happen. So make sure you tune in week to week. We have another great guest. So let's talk to Jennifer.
Hi.
Hi. Now, we're both the walking wounded. So thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm glad that you're feeling better.
And you're still pushing through some things, so.
Yeah, I am, but that's okay. We're good. I got the fan blowing. We're good.
Oh, my goodness. Running fever is the worst. Oh. I don't know what you do for that. You feed a fever?
I think you starve a fever.
Starve a fever? Feed
is
a
that
cold?
right? Yeah, feed a cold, starve a fever, I think is what it is.
All right, if anyone else knows that.
I don't know. I
that has to be the one good side of like an illness if you get to like eat relentlessly. Right?
Yeah, I do not want to eat anything right now.
Okay, so you're in the starving phase.
Yeah, no.
Maybe a little way if I can kill it. If I starve it to death. I don't know. I get the weirdest cravings when I'm sick. It's so
really
weird. Yeah.
Okay. No, I usually am just like, I don't want to do anything. I want to just lay there and like stare at the ceiling and whatever.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, welcome to the ranch.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm glad you reached out. And you're hailing from where?
So I am based in Vail, North Carolina. So I grew up in Hickory and then moved to Vail when I got married. So that's about 30 minutes away from Hickory. So yeah, I'm in North Carolina and then I go back and forth between North Carolina and Tennessee because I'm working on the whole music thing. So
right,
kind of got to show up. So
all right, and I asked a lot of my artists the same real question. I mean, you're down in the South. You're between North Carolina and Nashville, and why country music?
I think for me, so I grew up with country music. My grandparents, my grandfather played on a radio station, a local radio station, so he was very much into like bluegrass and all of that. And my grandmother was the quintessential like TNN CMT queen. Like she introduced me to everything, and that was one thing that we shared was country music. So like we loved it, and we would sit there and watch music videos when I was at her house, and we would watch concerts and all of that. And so she had this love of music, and I think that I got that from her. Well, from both my grandparents, but yeah. So I think for one thing, I was born on her birthday, and so we shared a birthday.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and she passed away when I was 10. And so I think part of my it always feels like home for me. Like the country music is sort of like continuing to live out that legacy for her.
Oh, that's amazing. So it sounds like it really was something that brought your family together, was this kind of passion for music. And it sounds like different styles of country music.
Oh, definitely. They were very traditional, but then she was the one that would sit there and listen to like the new stuff as well. So, she got me into Reba McEntire's my absolute, like that's my absolute. So, and I remember because my other grandmother didn't really understand country music, like she was more into, Bill Gates were in the gospel, like the whole gospel quartets and stuff like that. And so I just remember sitting there talking to my other grandmother about Reba, and she was like, "No, she's amazing. Like, don't worry about it. Like, just, you know." So that was just, it was our common bond. Like, that's just what we had. And so for me, it's always been about storytelling. Like, I would sit in a parking lot with my grandmother and we would make up stories about people we were watching, which it's very stalker-esque, but it helps you like learn to tell stories. And so I think because of that, I gravitate toward country music because it still is like, it's moved away a little bit from storytelling, but I think storytelling will always be there. And I think it's moving back to the whole storytelling aspect.
I think the storytelling is still quintessential country music.
Yes.
Now there's modern country music, and now you're seeing the structure of country music change a little bit. You're seeing more pre-choruses, in music, which is supposed to be a pop thing,
right?
So you see, you're kind of shifting things up a little bit, but I think the storytelling is what keeps things kind of in the country vein. Some cross over with folk. There's a lot of imagery in folk music too. But we're getting a lot of hellos here.
Hi.
There's Jamie Potter. Mark Rosner was on a minute ago. He was saying hello too. So we're across 7 platforms right now.
Okay, awesome.
And Blast Music 24/7 is the producer of our event. So we're on a couple YouTube stations, Facebook. So any of those platforms, feel free to say hello. Ask questions if you want, because we're going to see it. So it's kind of a fun platform.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see things pop in. So
I know. I love it. I like StreamYard. Took some getting used to. Well, you know what? I was using it, but it wasn't until Troy, my producer, Troy Saha, like taught me like I should have been doing it differently, and I'm like, oh, that's so much easier. Who knew? But yeah, high tech on the ranch. One of the things that I enjoy about country music is people are passionate about country music and the storytelling, but they're open to different people. They want to hear new people and new country and new songs.
Right.
It's not like pop music where you have the same people in the top 10 all the time. You do have kind of a rotation and, okay, now we have a new song from this person and a new, they seem to be a lot more open to, different songs.
Well, and I think that's what I love about it too, is that, if you look at country music, like there's so many different forms that come into it, like different styles of music. So there's blues, there's, some rock elements. It's not just this one little thing. Like there's other things that are pulled into it. There's a lot of gospel. And I think because for me, like my faith is number one. And so that's another thing that I want to have something where I can still talk about my faith. But not necessarily be like in your face, but still pull that element in to where it's that common denominator with just living life and knowing like how somebody grew up. And because to me, that's what it's all about. It's it's almost passing down stories from generations before.
But it's your story that you're passing on too. Right. It's a little piece of yourself that's, and you're finding who resonates with that as well. And I have to tell you, as soon as you talked about your faith, we got some reactions too. We got a few likes on that.
Okay.
So, it's not always somebody people come, out on and say, yeah, my faith is number one, but.
Oh yeah, most definitely it is. So I'm actually a worship pastor. So, that's I guess my job, my day job or whatever. I don't know what you call it because I'm a full-time musician, but Yeah, I work as a worship pastor for a small church in North Carolina. So that's another reason that I'm still based in North Carolina is I want to be home for that. I want to be home for Sunday morning.
Definitely. You're very entrenched in that community.
Well, and I grew up being a worship leader. So that's really where I got my footing. My first album was contemporary Christian. So and honestly, that was the path I was on. And then, 2020 happened and I had all of these songs that I had written that were country, and more folkish and that kind of thing. And I'm home and it's kind of like, okay, well, let's see what I can do with this. Let's see if anybody resonates with it or not. And so that's when I started releasing the things. But before then, my focus was very much church and contemporary Christian.
Oh, that's really nice. And there is, again, that crossover that we're seeing a lot of these days. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying before, there's some rock elements. There's a little gospel. There's a little folk, depending on the tempo, the structure, of the song itself.
Yes.
So, okay. Well, why don't we listen to one of the songs? Okay. And I think we're going to listen to your acoustic first, right? Tell us about Lose Control.
So, again, this is one that I kind of wrote with my husband in mind. And it's all about just if you allow yourself to be vulnerable and actually let down some of those walls, where could this relationship go? Because we both had come from not so great of relationships beforehand. And we both went into our relationship kind of scared of actually our friends set us up on a first date and they kind of like fooled us into meeting. And we were very much like, neither of us want this. Like, I mean, I remember we even said to each other, like, I don't want anything. You don't want anything, that kind of thing. And within like a couple weeks, it was like, oh, so, it was just right. But there was that piece of the vulnerability that was hard at the beginning to let go of.
Oh, it is. When you come out of a bad relationship, the first thing you do is like, oh, never again.
Yeah, I'm done.
I make this mistake again. And here you are in a song saying, oh, let's lose control.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's ditch all of that. All right, let's give this a listen.
Okay.
Tried to play the part. It was written in the stars. One kiss, you had my heart. And I tried to keep my distance. Oh, I tried to play it cool. Boy, I'm acting like a fool. So I'm thinking, oh,
right, and we're back. Some high praise for that one. Move over, Reba.
That is, thank you.
That's high praise.
Yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
would be awesome. If I could just meet Reba, that would be awesome.
Right. And the thing about Reba and some of the other country artists is they're such strong musicians as well. I mean, that chick can play.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, Dolly Parton, all of she plays with nails. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah, I have not mastered the nail thing. So I don't play with a pick. And so like my nails are like worn down to like nubs.
you don't play with a pick.
I don't. My guitar teacher has always hated me. Like he's like when I used to take guitar, he was like, just use the pick. And I'm like, I don't want to. There's just something with the feel of it. I don't know. I have to have my nails.
And I tried not to use the pick. Like I've tried the different like little pick things, and
Yeah.
I can't use a pick. I can't finger style.
Okay.
I'm terrible at finger style, but
yeah, no, my nails look horrendous. But that's okay.
Well, Jamie doesn't use the pick either, but he's a bass player, so like stop. That doesn't count. You're like bass. I frown on bass players that use this pick. Actually, they should be picking. Like, Jamie also does upright bass, so.
Oh, okay. Well, that's yeah.
Orchestra trained, symphony trained musicians. So.
Nice. Yeah, I love upright bass.
Even with the electric, you're not using a pick.
No, typically you wouldn't. Anytime I've filled in for bass, I've never, I mean, of course I don't use a pick anyway. So what am I saying? Like, of course I'm not using a pick.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of like honestly, like like my friends that play, it's usually like one of the guys that's like, what are you doing? Because I guess they know like how bad it can be for your nails. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, that's how I play.
Well, isn't that a little stereotypical that we're supposed to be keeping our nails? I don't know.
I remember, so this is a long ago story, but I wanted to be the like, I don't know, the prissy prom person. So I went and got my nails done, and literally I got them done Friday for prom. And then by Monday, I went and got them taken off because I was like, I can't play guitar. I can't function. Like, this is not working for me. So yeah.
People don't understand when you first put those on, how bad do they hurt?
They hurt, but then you can't do anything, or at least I could not do anything. Like, I think it is a fantastic skill for anyone who has nails that are able to actually function, but I am not one of them.
I am not one of them. They're non-functioning. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and plus, like, when you're hitting stuff, it hurts.
Yeah, it does.
So anyway, yeah.
I tried for special occasions. I'm like, Billy doesn't use a pick either.
See? Okay. Oh, well.
Turning the drums, Billy.
Drums. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm guessing you're at least using sticks. That's something. So
it's being funny because I know he does play guitar. So
y'all are my people. You're like, no, I don't know.
Yeah, fellow musicians in the house. There you go. So that's an acoustic bass here. During COVID, I thought I'd teach myself.
Yeah.
Well, I was all right, but then I was picking. I was trying to pluck and but regular guitar, like I need a pick.
Yeah, my bass is actually in the closet, and I've got to get it like set up again because it's such a high, like it's so high up that it takes everything you have just to like make a note, and so I've got to get it actually like reset and all that because the neck is all messed up on it.
Well, I always get mine reset. I have teeny tiny hands. I have like kids' hands. So I always go in there and I said the fastest action you could possibly get without buzzing because
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't have much fun. Plus, I messed up a knuckle and actually had to buy a new guitar. An excuse to buy a new guitar as if I needed one. But knuckle's totally messed and I can't bar chord on an acoustic guitar. So
okay.
I just bought a new electric and had it all reset. But it plays like an acoustic, so it's really cool.
One of mine set up like an acoustic. Yeah. So I understand. It's action and everything set up like the acoustic so that I can. I mean, that's usually when I'm doing rhythm guitar or something. That's what I'm using for it.
Oh, cool. Cool. What kind of guitar is that?
It's a Fender.
A Fender. Okay.
Yeah. I've had it since I was 17. My papa got it for me for my 17th birthday.
You know what? I think I'm the only guitar player on the face of the earth that doesn't have a Fender Stratocaster.
Really? Maybe so. Yeah, honestly, maybe so. I keep wanting a red Les Paul, like a cherry red Les Paul, but anyway.
My PRS is
okay.
Is cherry red. It's gorgeous.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, Jamie wants to know what Fender model.
It's a Strat. It's a Stratocaster.
Stratocaster.
Yeah.
Or Telecaster. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Strat.
Yeah. So, girls with guitars. How awesome is that?
I love them. I love them. I have an
addiction. I think girls buy guitars differently than guys.
I would say that.
I think we're more practical with our approach and more versatile, where guys are going to buy like a lot of different gear. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I would agree with that based on, well, okay, for example, I just did a show at the Mockingbird in Franklin, and this guy came in, and granted, the guy's like, he works for Gibson, so like he can, like he can do whatever he wants. But he came in with like this, it was cherry red, but it was like he had designed like the actual like body of it and everything, and there's just no way like that I would play that long term. Like I just wouldn't. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It sounded amazing, but it's not my style. And so I sit there and I've wanted like that red guitar for like years upon years at this point. And I will go buy like a Taylor, whatever, like a Taylor acoustic, because that's practical. And that's what I need for the most part. So no, I totally get it. But my friend Brian has like every guitar known to man, and he gets like this color, and then he gets this color, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, listen to this, and you're right. Like I'm gonna have one guitar during my set that stays in tune, matches most of my outfits. And, it's a very practical, arrangement. Where I saw the Goo Goo Dolls in concert.
Okay.
He must have had 40 guitars in one song. He kept rotating like guitars in and out because he does all kinds of crazy tunings and stuff. And I'm like, I want one guitar that's going to get me through a set. That's real versatile.
Maybe two in case I do a lot of things in drop D and don't want to tune.
Yeah. And I carry this one here is carbon fiber. I don't even have to tune it during the whole set.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Sometimes I have to, especially the strings that I have on mine right now, I'm having to tune like after every 3 songs. Like it's just completely out. So I've got to change my strings. I'm notorious for keeping on the strings until like they're fraying and I've got to get rid of them. So
that's probably a girl thing too.
It probably is. And I'm very picky with my strings too. Like I have to have custom light. I don't know what it is about them, but I've got to have a custom light if I'm doing.
I get that. And I'm really picky about my pick.
Okay.
You don't use a pick, but there's one pick. Like if I don't like I had to order a whole bunch more because like I don't know, they disappear into the vortex or something.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Okay.
They turn up in the weirdest places. But in one show, I was like, oh my God, like I didn't have this pick. And finally there was one in my change purse. So all was good with the universe. But
I got it.
All right. So let's hear some more of your music.
Okay.
We're gonna see one of your videos now.
Yeah.
This is kind of a cool one called Filthy Water. Tell us about Filthy Water.
Yeah. So this is my angsty song, I guess you would call it. So this was actually sort of during the transition of me leaving the church full time, and just a lot of things had happened. So I was stepping away from the church and stepping into this music thing over here. And basically it's just about the truth always comes out. But one thing that I always grew up hearing was the saying of don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, meaning don't throw the good out as well. Right. And my thought process was, yeah, but sometimes you need to just throw it all out. Like sometimes you need to just throw that entire experience to the side and walk away from it. And so that's really what this song is about.
All right, let's give it a listen. Filthy Water.
Talk to me, light a match and watch it burn. Soon the table's gonna turn. You think you are the man, talking with your dirty hands, but karma will make it right. The things you took away in spite. Ooh, don't you know? Ooh, the truth is gonna show. One day soon they're gonna see it's
back with Jennifer Alvarado out of North Carolina. That was Dirty Water. You're on the ranch, our weekly show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are, again, across the social media on a bunch of different platforms, 7 different platforms. So if you're watching, you have a question or a comment, feel free, because we can see it here in StreamYard. So we're just listening to Filthy Water, and it looks like you were having fun running around the woods there. And
yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's awkward. Like always making a video, like it's just awkward. Like that is not somebody asked me the other day, like, what's your, like, is making videos like your number one? And I was like, no, that would be like the end of the list, very bottom, like have to do it out of necessity kind of thing. So,
and I just like play with my inner child when I do video. I love doing video.
Yeah. That's good. And maybe one day I'll get past that, but it hasn't happened yet.
No, you mentioned at one point that your husband was an influence. Is he also a musician, or you write together, or?
No, he will tell you, like, the only thing he's able to do musically is run the radio. So, yeah, but no, he definitely, he was the one that honestly got me back into music, because I was always very protective of my songwriting, if that makes sense. And I had gotten like a lot of criticism growing up from it. And so I sort of put it on the back burner, and my songs were like my little protective cocoon, if you will. And so I remember when I first started sharing songs with him, he was like, listen, like, these are good. Like, you need to do something with this. And then also he was the first person that was just like, your eyes light up and you're passionate about this when you talk about music. Like, why are you not doing this? Why are you letting this just be on the back burner? And so he's always been the one that has pushed me and said, you can go do this. Like, and even now, like, you know, he's got the full-time job that's stable and all that, so that I'm able to go do music and try to figure it out. So,
well, I like this guy already.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He really is. Finding that type of support is really, really priceless.
Yeah, I mean, he was the one that when I first got out of worship leading for a while, because I'd kind of taken a hiatus from it, and he essentially got me back into that. Because I just, you know, I had a lot of confidence issues. I still do sometimes, but it's definitely gotten better. But he was the one that really just gave me confidence and spoke a lot of life into what I was doing.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you actually found your voice. I mean, you were writing lyrics, but it's come together that you have the confidence to kind of sing your song, because they are very personal songs.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's honestly, that's what music's always been for me, is that voice, because I was the shy kid. I was the only child. I was the introvert. And so that was really where I even started with songwriting, was, you know, things were happening in my life that I wanted to be able to write about and try to understand. And so that's where I've gotten a lot of just my processing from, is being able to sit down and write something, and you see it on a page. And so you better understand how you feel about it as well.
Do you ever find that you think you feel this one way, but then you start writing and you're like, wow, there's something else here, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Filthy Water was one of those things where I just, honestly, I was so bitter with things that were going on in my life at the time, that I needed to get that out in a positive way. And just to speak a truth. And so, yeah, that's definitely where a lot of my things come from, and just understanding of, oh, okay, maybe this isn't as complex as I think it is. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just have to work through it, because especially when it's your emotions and it's that close to you, it's hard to see past it. But when you're able to put it on paper and actually kind of honestly remove yourself from it in such a way, like you're better able to process what's going on and sort of see it from a new perspective.
I've done that. I wrote this. It's on my latest EP, and I
Yeah.
went into the studio and I looked at my producer and I said, "We got to tone this down. Like it's we got to make it something a little bit more fun and positive. I don't want it to be this bitter."
Yeah. Yeah. I understand.
So when you start writing, you write from lyrics. You write on the guitar first. What do you do?
Honestly, so lately I would say I'm kind of all over the place with what I do. I would say most of the time I start with a hook. And it's usually lyrics. It's usually like a lyrical hook or a melody line or something like that. Just like a short little, this is what I want to say, and this is the gist of it. And then from there I build around it. But it honestly, it's been all over the place lately. I actually the other day I wrote a song. I just have the music right now. I sort of know what I want to say, but I just have the actual melody and the music right now.
Right. I get that. Sometimes there's just something bopping in your head, and you got to wait for the words and like everything to kind of fall into place.
Exactly.
Sometimes it takes longer than other times.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've had songs that have taken, 5-10 minutes to really like put down and have out there, and then you polish them, so it's a little bit longer. But I've had some that I'll write a verse, and it, for whatever reason, like you've got to just kind of set it to the side and walk away for a little while. And I always think that it's more like you have to do a little bit more living to be able to get that one out. So
okay.
Yeah.
I've written songs where I know the chorus isn't right, but I'm going to wait for it to kind of hit me on the head and
Yep, exactly.
put it in there. So, all right. So different writing processes, and, different songs come to you in kind of different ways. Do you have a producer that you work with?
I do. So my producer is about 30 minutes away from home. I've worked with him for the past 8 years. I had worked with a couple other producers in the past, and it just didn't click. It was more of their sound, if that makes sense. And I feel like
it does absolutely make sense.
Yeah. And so that is one thing that I will always tell somebody, like, you need to interview your producer. Like if you don't like what they're doing, or like it doesn't mesh with what you're doing, like it's not going to miraculously, like you're not going to all of a sudden be able to mesh with that. So I know that now, but that's one of those things, like when you start out, you have no idea. And so honestly, some of those songs, well, honestly, all those songs, I never did anything with them. They're just sitting there because I didn't like the end product of them. And that's nothing against that producer. It's just, it is what it is. It didn't work with us. And I didn't feel like it was a representation of what I wanted my music to be. So when I started working with Ricky about 7 or 8 years ago, we just clicked. Like he understood what I was saying. At no point did he make me feel like, I think sometimes, and especially as women, you can walk in the studio and be spoken down to, and made to feel like you don't know what you're doing. And
oh yeah, girl, do I know that?
Yeah. And so at no point did he make me feel that way. And he would ask me my opinion. And even if I didn't necessarily know how to explain what I was hearing, we would work on it until it was right. And so he's always been very respectful. And I will say that is a huge thing. Like you want to have that respect, that mutual respect.
And I do think women have a different struggle in the music business.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
It's unavoidable. It's alive and well. But when you find that person that gets you, that's number one, supporting you.
Yeah.
And number two, the producer who really has your vision.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes everything all right. You have your strength to kind of, okay, I can keep doing this.
Yeah. Well, and I think at the end of the day, like you feel better about what you're putting out there too. Mm-hmm. Like it's, and that longevity of what you're doing. I know a lot of people that have had, you know, really bad horror stories of what they've ended up with, and like they just quit and they no longer pursue this. And so I feel very blessed and very lucky that I have somebody who does understand my vision, and we both are allowed to say to each other, like, no, that doesn't work. Like, that's a horrible idea. Like, we're very honest with each other. And so I think that that helps because there's that line of communication of all we want is for each project to be better and better. And we both have that goal in mind of just this next project, make it even better than the last.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's so important. You know, I really do. Because again, it is such personal material. It's music, you know, you're bleeding all over the place, you know, you're bleeding your heart all over the place. And if you don't have the right producer, and unless you worked with a producer, it's really hard to understand that chemistry that needs to happen.
It is.
In that mutual respect that needs to happen.
Yeah, it is. And I think that a lot of, you know, artists that are starting out, they don't know where to start. And so that's the biggest thing. Don't be afraid to just interview them. I mean, most of these producers interview us. Like Ricky actually interviewed me and wanted to listen to my music and make sure that I was serious about what I was doing before he spent the time to delve into a project with me. And you know, there's a lot of people that get angry with that, but I respect that because that shows me that he's serious about what he's doing as well.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, again, with women, it's a little intimidating. You have these named people that you interviewing, and it's hard to walk away and say, no, this isn't right, when they're like, well, I'm so good. And you know, this is everything I'm going to do. And
right.
You're like, but I don't like what your direction you're going with this. You know, it's really hard to have that confidence and say, you know what, I'm going to keep looking, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it is. It's difficult. And I feel very lucky that, you know, I found somebody that I can believe in as much as he believes in me. So.
All right, let's hear something else that you guys came up with. Now I'm going to share this and pray I do it right. I will keep doing it until I do it right. Let me see.
Okay.
It's not a video file. Nope. That's not right. So I'm going to present. I'm going to share my screen. Don't show this again. Oh. Are we seeing this?
No.
All right. That didn't work. Okay, so let's stop screen share.
I can always just sing if you want.
Well, we have that one other video to go. Oh, it's not slides. We'll try one other thing. Share Chrome tab. And you're still not seeing it?
No.
All right. We're going to try it one more time.
Oh, there it goes.
All right. Can you hear it? Mm-hmm. All right. You did it.
Your touch. Never had something that I crave so much. Your attention's my control. I never can get enough. And it all started with one touch. Your voice, it's all that I need to make it hard to breathe. Like my favorite song that can make me believe this isn't wrong, so I hold on. And now I'm looking at you, looking at me. Never seem to have to say anything, 'cause I know what you're thinking. And like a moth to a flame until we can't escape, we both know that our hearts will break, but here we are, playing with fire. One time, if we only let it happen one time, if we went a little crazy and lost our minds, defenses were down, we told ourselves we have to know. And now I'm looking at you, looking at me, never seem to have to say anything, 'cause I know what you're thinking. And like a moth to a flame until we can't escape, we both know that our hearts will break, but here we are, playing with fire. I can feel your heart pounding from across the room. There's no denying what we wanna do. 'Cause now I'm looking at you, looking at me, never seem to have to say anything, but I know what you're thinking. And like a moth to a flame until we can't escape, we both know that our hearts will break, but here we are. And now I'm looking at you, looking at me, never seem to have to say anything, 'cause I know what you're thinking. And like a moth to a flame until we can't escape, we both know that our hearts will break, but here we are, playing with fire, playing with fire.
All right. That was a nice. Oh,
Is it okay?
I forgot to turn the video off. It was still
Oh.
going. Commercial cut. That was our commercial break. Oh, thank you, everyone. We're still listening. We're here in another few minutes. We're on the ranch with Jennifer Alvarado. We're across lots of platforms. So if you do comment, we do see it. We can respond. So if you have any comments about the song, Playing with Fire, this is a really cool lyric video that we just watched. And Jennifer, again, all those likes help artists. You know, all those likes and follows and all that great stuff. So where can we all find you?
Yeah, so I would say the first place is my website, jenniferalvarado.com. If you can't remember Alvarado, look up avocado. I promise it'll actually show up. Like, you'll still find me. I call my fans avocado, so it still finds me. But Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, oh goodness, what else? Usually it's Jennifer Alvarado Music, at Jennifer Alvarado Music. So all of those are that. But I'm pretty much everywhere. Spotify, Deezer, all those streaming platforms. I'm there. Just look me up.
Okay. You have anything new coming up? You working on anything?
I do. I actually have a new song coming out called Colorado. It comes out the 24th. So definitely check that out if you would. And it's the first single that's coming off of my next album EP. I haven't decided if I'm doing a full album or if I'm just going to break it into 2 EP projects. But that'll be out early next year. And then I also have a holiday EP coming out December 1st called Christmas in Carolina.
Oh, how nice. Are those originals or some, covers of standards for the Christmas?
Both. So
Little-
right now it's 2 originals, and then it's a little bit different of a variation on Silent Night. And then Oh Holy Night is a cover.
Oh, how nice. Women of Substance has a call for holiday songs. So if you want to track them
Saw
down,
that.
maybe you
Yep,
saw that?
Yep.
All right. You're a woman of substance too?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you belong to any other organizations?
NSAI, so National Songwriters Association. And then I just became a member of the CMAs. And I'm trying to think what else. That one. I guess the CCMAs, so the Carolina Country Music Awards. I'm a member of them as well.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I like the Women of Substance. I just had a networking session with them on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never made it before. And finally, I'm like, okay, I'm home doing nothing because I'm sick. And it was really nice to have these networking sessions. And it's not even, it's music, it's everything, it's life, it's, life sometimes gets in the way of writing and being a musician and keeping in touch with that.
Well, and I think it's cool to have these women organizations because it very much is, the advocacy part and just having also just like-minded folks that understand the struggle with you. So yeah, I think that's awesome that there's organizations that work to empower women and be that voice for women in this industry.
Yeah, Bree Noble and her group are just, really great people.
Yeah.
Like to reach out to. So we have a few minutes left. Any other words of wisdom? I mean, we would for musicians just starting out.
I would just say keep going. No matter what, keep going. Like if you're passionate about this, it doesn't matter what the critics have to say. It doesn't matter what your mama had to say or anybody else. Like if you're passionate about it, I really truly believe that God will provide and He will open a door. And as long as you're putting in that effort and that work, it doesn't matter if you become the next big star. Like if you're just able to do music and be passionate about what you're doing, like you're already doing something amazing. So, and I think so many times we tend to lose our voice in this because we feel like we have to do this or that to be on trend or to be successful. And that's one thing that I've had to really learn for myself is that my journey is not going to look like everybody else's. It's not going to look like yours. It's not going to look like the person next door, like whatever. And that's okay. It doesn't have to. It's supposed to be about our voice and our story. And it would be quite boring if everybody had the same exact story.
And I think that's kind of been our theme, for the day as women, we want to be kind of pleasers. I mean, that's kind of how we're raised. And being able to go into a producer and go, you know what, this isn't quite for me, and go on. It kind of is against our nature. But, I think the message for today is find your support because it's there. It might not have been this person. It might not even have been the people you wanted it to be, like your parents or something like that. They don't maybe get your vision. But you keep looking and you're going to find your support. You're going to find your fans. You're going to find like-minded musicians.
Exactly. Well, and, for me, for example, I tried to keep myself in a situation for so long and try to be everything that situation wanted me to be. And what I realize now is I was never supposed to be that. Like, and that's okay. Like you've got to be true to yourself and be true to that calling that God has given you and put on your heart. And don't make yourself small just to appease everybody else.
I love that message. I really, really do. And again, it doesn't always come natural to a lot of people, a lot of women.
No, it doesn't. Because I mean, we're ingrained in us to be, to have that smiling face and make sure everything's okay and make sure everybody's okay. And we put ourselves last. And, I think that's just, that's women. We try to please. We kind of want to be the everything to everyone, but we aren't that for ourselves.
Right. And we're made to feel selfish and uncaring if we practice self-care, which you should do.
Exactly.
So
you have to.
Everyone needs to find their journey, needs to find their passion. And again, you do that and you're going to find your support.
Exactly.
You stay true to yourself.
Exactly.
So I really have enjoyed having you on the show, Jennifer. It's really, really been a pleasure. I'm actually going to North Carolina on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
I'm driving down to Leland. So I don't know how close you are to that, but we can talk afterwards. So next week I will be on the road, but we will have a show. Wally's going to be coming up. We have a really good artist. Again, Mondays at 7:00. Again, all these platforms you can watch and respond. Again, remember to check out Jennifer Alvarado. Not avocado, but it will supposedly find you.
Yes.
Which is fine. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all your great comments. Thanks for joining me on the ranch.
Bye.
I'm on the road, don't know where it goes. I'm on the road, follow your heart, it won't let you down. Follow your heart, take the steps beyond your way.